Hello and welcome. My name is Sara Peternell and I'm the owner of Family Nutrition Services. Today I'm answering the question, if I have Hashimoto's, can I still drink coffee? I love this question. It's a very important question. I myself have Hashimoto's and I love coffee. So over the years I have asked myself this same question many times in an effort to best understand the way that coffee affects our bodies and also to try to find the best way to incorporate coffee as an actual health benefit rather than a health detriment. So the first thing that I think is important to understand is that coffee is a stimulant because it contains caffeine. And caffeine is obviously found in other foods, not just coffee, but other foods and beverages like sodas and energy drinks and chocolate, and other herbal or natural supplements may also contain trace amounts of caffeine. And so for many of you, if you have Hashimoto's, you may already be aware that caffeine does not make you feel very good. You may feel sweaty, you may feel anxious or irritable, you may notice that your heart is racing, you may feel like your blood sugar drops. There are a variety of symptoms that can indicate that your body is telling you caffeine is not a good idea. So right out of the gates, I want you to know that if you've been listening to your body, and these are symptoms that you experience when you consume caffeine or products with caffeine, then no, you should not have coffee. Okay, that's the easy answer. The other answer, which is more complicated, which is that if you don't experience these symptoms, how to know when you've had too much, and also to know what kinds of coffee and when and what to put in it can actually make coffee a relatively healthful component of your lifestyle. So also, the thing that I want you to know about caffeine is that it not only stimulates your whole body in terms of giving you energy, picking you up, waking you up in the morning, but it does stimulate your endocrine system. It actually stimulates your thyroid gland by causing it to rev up or speed up your metabolism. And so if you're already experiencing thyroid dysfunction, putting your foot on the gas pedal with more of a stimulant, more caffeine or coffee, isn't necessarily the right thing. And secondly, caffeine or coffee consumption can also increase your body's production of stress hormones like cortisol and also adrenaline. So we know what it feels like when we are drinking coffee and we start to kind of get going and here comes my puppy. Hi, Izzy. When we start to drink coffee and we know that we can actually sense that we are creating internal stress in our bodies, we know that that may not necessarily be a good thing. So to avoid overstimulating the thyroid and also to avoid the overproduction of stress hormones, we want to limit our coffee to just maybe 1 or 2 cups of coffee per day. And believe me, I have seen many clients come to me indicating that they sometimes drink an entire pot of coffee. So just 1 cup or mug of coffee can typically contain anywhere between 75 and 350 milligrams of coffee. That's a really wide range, of caffeine. That's a wide range of caffeine in a cup of coffee. And a lot of that has to do with the coffee itself, the type of bean, the way that it's roasted, the way that it's brewed, the equipment that you use it on, etc., the equipment that you brew it on. So you want to just limit the amount of caffeine that you're consuming each day. Sorry, I'm laughing because my dog is just sitting here yawning. She's clearly not very excited by this information. I would say that on average, if you're going to consume 1 cup per day, that's probably the perfect amount, and that's a sweet spot. More than that, and again, you start to get into some kind of unwanted territory with your endocrine system. The other thing is that if you are drinking coffee too late in the day, that can be harmful to you because it can disrupt your sleep, and it can be too stimulatory when your body is starting to move on that downward natural cortisol curve, and your body is starting to kind of get ready for rest as the afternoon and evening is progressing. Putting a stimulatory agent or ingredient in your body would not be very helpful. Taking your coffee in the morning or drinking your coffee in the morning may interrupt the time of day that you're taking your thyroid medication. If you are taking a levothyroxine, or you are taking Synthroid, or you're taking maybe Armour or Nature-Throid, you want to wait for a minimum of 60 minutes from the time that you take your medication until you have that first cup of coffee, because the caffeine can speed up the rate at which your body uses that medication. And so you want it to be processed properly by your body. You don't want anything to interfere. Also, what you put into your coffee is just as important. If you're having your coffee with an artificially processed, artificially sweetened, artificially flavored, like creamer or additive or something of that nature, that can, have some undesirable ingredients, sugar, chemicals, preservatives, etc., that you may not want to be adding into your body. So I would suggest that maybe you switch and try something more natural, like maybe like a non-dairy milk. I love just plain almond milk in my coffee in the morning. Some people also will do some of the coconut or almond milk creamers that you can find in the health food store. Also, just sometimes straight coconut milk out of the can works just fine as well. And I also, if you are used to a sweetener, I would say maybe try something a little bit more natural of a sweetener, like maybe maple syrup or coconut sugar, that you can try to kind of slowly wean yourself off something that's maybe a little bit more potent. So Izzy has definitely decided that she's going to be a part of this video today. This is Izzy, my golden doodle. Hello. Okay. So what you put into your coffee is just as important as the coffee itself. Now let's talk about the quality of the coffee. So many coffees are highly, highly, highly sprayed with pesticides, which is problematic for all of us, not just people who have Hashimoto's, but pesticides, they can be persistent, they can be toxic, they can affect nervous system, they can affect your immune system, they can affect your endocrine system. These persistent chemical pesticides that are very prevalent in the coffee growing industry, you don't really want anywhere near your body. So you want to source your coffee just like you do your produce or other foods and goods that you have in your home. And if you're striving towards more of an organic lifestyle, you want to also switch to organic coffee. I'm just going to quickly say that if you are also maybe interested in drinking a decaffeinated coffee, you want to go with a decaf coffee that is processed in a manner called Swiss water process. And the Swiss water process actually is a very natural and sort of safe, meaning that it keeps all of the antioxidants and all of the benefits of coffee intact, while removing only the caffeine. Normal decaffeination processes are, again, heavily loaded with toxins and go through a number of different steps, including the inclusion of formaldehyde, which is disgusting. And who wants formaldehyde not only in their coffee, but anywhere in their home or anywhere near their body? Definitely not a good option. So the quality of your coffee is really important. And I personally like to choose a local coffee roaster. And I have made contact and made friends with that person. I know where she is sourcing her beans from. I know how those beans are grown and how they're raised. I know how they're processed. I know how they're roasted. And I know a lot about the nutritional health benefits of the coffee that we choose to drink at home. And that is, again, that there are a lot of really wonderful benefits to coffee. But the quality is very, very, very important. So I talk to people about their Starbucks habit, that $4 or $5 that you're spending maybe every single day on your not only your caffeine fix, but also you're paying for a lot of chemical pesticides, a lot of processing, a lot of unnecessary ingredients, a lot of artificial flavors and sweeteners. If you're going for some of the frappuccino, latte, pumpkin spice, blah, 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 right? So brewing it at home from beans that are sourced from a really great, a great local roaster is definitely the way to go. Is it going to be more expensive to do this way at home? Yeah, but it's still cheaper than Starbucks, or it's still cheaper than, going and paying, out of pocket for every time you want to swing by the local coffee shop. So for myself, I think that having a coffee habit, if you want to call it that, because it is. I love my coffee, and I just makes me happy, makes me feel good, and I love the benefits that it impairs for me, that it imparts for me. There are benefits for the liver. There's benefits for DNA. There are plenty of antioxidants. It can help with alertness. It can help with energy, all kinds of things. I mean, let's face it, coffee is pretty darn good. But what I do is I have 1 or 2 cups, just organic French roast, again, from my roaster, with unsweetened vanilla almond milk. That's it. 1 or 2 cups a day. And after that, I drink water, 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 water. About 2 liters of water per day at a minimum for me, sometimes 3 liters. Because coffee is dehydrating, just like alcohol. Even though it's a liquid, it's actually taking, the water out of the cells where we want it to stay, and it's eliminating that water from your body. So you don't want to become dehydrated drinking coffee. I also love to drink herbal teas, especially in the wintertime, because they're very warming, and I tend to be a chilly person in the winter. And so I drink a lot of rooibos, and I drink a lot of peppermint tea, and I drink a lot of dandelion tea, and I also love just some of the herbal blends, fruits and herb blends of teas, and I'll sip on those literally 5 or 6 cups all day long. Also, as many of you know from watching some of my other videos, I really love kombucha. So this is how I have found for me that coffee still works and keeps me healthy and doesn't overstimulate me and doesn't affect my thyroid and doesn't affect my health. Thank you so much for watching this video. I would encourage you to check out a blog post that I have on my website, sarapeternell.com, all about the links between Hashimoto's and adrenal fatigue and how coffee plays a role in that. And also check out my other video that I have, if you should drink alcohol, if you have Hashimoto's. You can find that here on YouTube. Remember to subscribe to my channel. Please like and share and turn your notifications on so you get the new videos each time they're released. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.